Hello students, here we will discuss match the following types of MCQs from chapters 7 to 9. This will help you to learn many terms, examples, definitions, etc. which can come in your first term exam. First, match the following with the terms given below. A. Structural and functional links between cells. These are cell junctions. In nearly all animal tissues, cell junctions provide both structural as well as functional links between the cells. B. Cells without well-defined nucleus and without membrane-bound cell organelles. These cells are called as prokaryotes. They do not have well-defined nucleus and they are without membrane-bound cell organelles. C. Circular, self-replicating, double-stranded DNA of bacteria. Many bacteria have small circular DNA outside genomic DNA. These smaller DNA are called as plasmids. D. Transport of molecules from higher concentration to lower concentration without use of energy. This type of transport of material is called as passive transport, where no energy is used and molecules move from higher concentration to lower concentration. So here A matches with 2 cell junction, B with 3 prokaryotes, C with 4 plasmids and D with 1 passive transport. Number 2. Match the following with types of cells or tissues given below. A. Isolated glandular epithelial cells found in alimentary canal. These are goblet cells. They are present in alimentary canal and they are isolated glandular epithelial cells. B. The glands which secrete mucus or earwax or enzymes. These glands have their ducts to pour the secretion, so they are exocrine glands. C. Dense, irregular, connective tissue is found in. These tissues have fibroblasts and many fibers which are oriented differently and are present in skin. D. Cells of cartilage tissues are called as chondrocytes. E. Junctions help to stop leakage of substances across a tissue. These cell junctions are called tight junctions which help to stop the leakage of substances across the tissue. So here A matches with 3 goblet cells, B with 4 exocrine, C with 1 skin, D with 5 chondrocytes and E with 2 tight junctions. Next, match the following with the correct option. A. Cells which secrete proteins, collagen and elastin. These cells are fibroblast cells. They are present in connective tissues except blood. B. Tissue which has intercalated discs. Intercalated discs are present in cardiac muscle tissue which allow the cells to contract as a unit. C. Cells present in bones. Cells of bones are osteocytes. D. Cells which make up more than 1/2 the volume of neural tissue in our body. These are neuroglia cells which also protect and support the neurons. E. Cells, unit of neural system. Neuron cells are unit of neural system. So here A matches with 5 fibroblast, B matches with 4 cardiac muscle, C matches with 1 osteocytes, D matches with 2 neuroglia and E matches with 3 neuron. Number 4. Match the following with cell structures given below. A. Bristles like fibers sprouting out of cells of bacteria. These fibers are called fimbriae. In some bacteria, they help bacteria to attach to rocks in streams and also to host tissues. B. Structure formed by the extension of plasma membrane into cell. Mesosomes are formed by the extension of plasma membrane into the cell. C. Ribosomes attach to single messenger RNA and form a chain. Several ribosomes may attach to single messenger RNA and form a chain called polysome or polyribosomes. D. The core of a cilium or flagellum. It is called axoneme. E. Membrane boundary of the vacuole of plant cell. It is called tonoplast. Tonoplast is a membrane which bound vacuoles in the plant cell. So here A matches with 2 fimbriae, B with 3 mesosomes, C with 4 polysome, D with 5 axoneme and E with 1 tonoplast. Number 5. Match the following with the names of scientists associated with. A. First explained that new cells are formed from pre-existing cells. It was first explained by Rudolf Virchow in 1855. B. First observed densely stained reticular structure near nucleus. This was observed by Camillo Golgi in 1898 and later named Golgi bodies after him. C. Observed ribosomes first as granular structures. George Palade in 1953 first observed ribosomes. D. Nucleus as a cell organelle was first described by Robert Brown in 1831 described nucleus as a cell organelle. E. Fluid mosaic model of plasma membrane was given by Singer and Nicholson in 1972 gave fluid mosaic model of plasma membrane. So here A matches with 5 Rudolf Virchow, B with 1 Camillo Golgi, C with 4 George Palade, D with 3 Robert Brown and E with 2 Singer and Nicholson. Next, match the following cell organelles with the product they formed. A. Endoplasmic reticulum involved in protein synthesis. RER or rough endoplasmic reticulum are actively involved in protein synthesis and secretion. B. Rich in hydrolytic enzymes. Lysosomes are rich in hydrolytic enzymes. C. Site of formation of glycoproteins and glycolipids. Golgi apparatus or Golgi bodies are the site where glycolipids and glycoproteins are formed. D. Produce cellular energy in the form of ATP or adenosine triphosphate. Mitochondria is involved in the formation of ATP, which is a source of energy. Thus, it is also called as powerhouse of cells. E. Endoplasmic reticulum involved in synthesis of lipids. Smooth endoplasmic reticulum or SER are involved in lipid synthesis. So here A matches with 1 rough endoplasmic reticulum, B matches with 3 lysosomes, C matches with 4 Golgi apparatus, D matches with 2 mitochondria and E matches with 5 smooth endoplasmic reticulum. Number 7. Match the given examples with the categories they belong, which are given below. A. Curcumin, concanavalin A, morphine, rubber. These are all secondary metabolites. B. Tyrosine, tryptophan and phenylalanine. They are aromatic amino acids. C. adenosine, uridine and guanosine. They are nucleosides formed by combination of sugar and nitrogenous base. D. Thymidyllic acid and cytidyllic acids. They are nucleotides formed by combination of phosphate, sugar and nitrogenous base. E. Palmitic acid and arachidonic acids. They are the examples of fatty acids where palmitic acid has 16 carbon atoms and arachidonic acid has 20 carbon atoms. So here A matches with 5 secondary metabolites, B matches with 2 aromatic amino acids, C matches with 3 nucleosides, D with 4 nucleotides and E with 1 fatty acids. Number 8. Match the following with the type of chromosomes. A. Chromosome with centromere located in the middle. It is metacentric chromosome. B. Centromere located slightly away from the middle of chromosome. These chromosomes are submetacentric. C. Centromere is located close to one end of chromosome. These are acrocentric chromosomes. D. Chromosome with terminal centromere. It is telocentric chromosome. So here A matches with 3 metacentric, B with 4 submetacentric, C with 1 acrocentric and D with 2 telocentric. Number 9. Match the following with their examples. A. Acidic amino acid. Glutamic acid is the example of an acidic amino acid. B. A protein with tertiary structure. Myoglobin is a protein and it has got the tertiary structure. C. A phospholipid found in cell membrane. It is lecithin which is found in cell membrane and is a phospholipid. D. Compound with heterocyclic rings. Adenine is a nitrogenous base which has heterocyclic ring. E. A polymer of fructose. It is inulin which is a homopolymer of fructose. So here A matches with 4 glutamic acid, B with 5 myoglobin, C with 1 lecithin, D with 2 adenine and E with 3 inulin. Next, match the following with types of bonds present in them. A. In a polypeptide. Peptide bond is present in a polypeptide chain. B. In polysaccharide. Glycosidic bond is present in polysaccharide. C. A bond between phosphate and hydroxyl group of sugar. This bond is ester bond which connects phosphate with hydroxyl group of sugar. D. Bonds between adenine and thymine bases in DNA. Adenine and thymine in DNA strand are joined together by 2 hydrogen bonds. So here A matches with 4 peptide bond, B with 3 glycosidic bond, C with 2 ester bond and D with 1 hydrogen bonds. Number 11. Match the following with the class of enzymes they belong. A. Which catalyze oxidoreduction between two substrates S1 and S. These enzymes are called dehydrogenases or oxidoreductase enzymes. These are responsible for oxidation of one substrate and reduction of the other. B. Which catalyze the linking together of two compounds. Enzyme ligases. These are responsible for linking of two compounds together. C. Which catalyze transfer of groups other than hydrogen between S and S1 substrates. Transferase enzyme catalyze transfer of groups other than hydrogen between two substrates. D. Which catalyze removal of groups from substrate by mechanism other than hydrolysis, leaving double bonds. These enzymes are lyases, which remove groups from substrate and leave double bonds by the mechanism other than hydrolysis. So here A matches with 2, dehydrogenase, B matches with 3, ligases, C matches with 4, transferase enzymes, and D matches with 1, lyases. Next, match the following. Here some information is given related with the enzymes and you have to match with appropriate terms given below. A. Inhibitor of succinic dehydrogenase enzyme. Malonate, which acts as an inhibitor of succinic dehydrogenase enzyme. It binds with active site of the enzyme and make the site unavailable to substrate succinate. So, it is the example of competitive inhibition. B. Cofactor of carboxypeptidase. It is zinc. Zinc is the cofactor of enzyme carboxypeptidase. C. Vitamin required for NAD and NADP. NAD is nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide and NADP is nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide phosphate. They are coenzyme which contain vitamin niacin. D. Enzyme required for formation of carbonic acid from the reaction between carbon dioxide and water. This reaction is catalyzed by the enzyme carbonic anhydrase. E. Name the metabolic pathway from glucose to pyruvate. This pathway is called glycolysis, where glucose is converted to pyruvate, and this pathway involves 10 steps. So here A matches with 2, malonate, B matches with 4, zinc, C with 1, niacin, D with 3, carbonic anhydrase, and E with 5, glycolysis. Number 13. Match the following with their functions. A. Receptor. They help in sensory perception like smell, taste, etc. B. GLUT4. It helps in glucose transport. C. Antibodies. They help in fighting with the disease germs. D. Trypsin. It is an enzyme which catalyzes breakdown of proteins. So here A matches with 3, sensory perception, B with 1, glucose transport, C with 2, fight infection, and D with 4, catalyze breakdown of proteins. Number 14. Match the following with their respective sizes. A. Mycoplasma PPLO, which is the smallest cell, and its size varies from 0.1 to 0.3 micrometer. B. A typical eukaryotic cell, it varies between 10 to 20 micrometer in size. C. Typical bacterial cell, it varies between 1 to 2 micrometer in size. And D. Human erythrocyte is of 7.0 micrometer in size. So here A matches with 2, 0.1 to 0.3 micrometer, B matches with 3, 10 to 20 micrometer, C matches with 1, 1 to 2 micrometer, and D matches with 4, 7.0 micrometer. Number 15. Match the following functions with the cell organelles associated with it. A. Store proteins. Aleuroplast store proteins. B. Store starch. Amyloplast store starch. C. Store fats. Aleuroplast store fats and oils. All these three, aleuroplasts, amyloplast, and aleuroplast, are the types of leucoplasts present in plants. D. Contain keratin and xanthophyll. Chromoplasts contain fat-soluble carotenoid pigments like keratin and xanthophyll. So here A matches with 2 aleuroplast, B with 3 amyloplast, C with 4 elaioplast and D with 1 chromoplast. So that's all for today. Thank you very much for staying with me. Subscribe to the channel to get the information about my new video. Thank you so much.